Hello, and welcome to another Midjourney video. I'm really excited to see where this tool will change the field of photography and creative design in general. So today's video will focus on using the describe function and utilizing that to examine both your own work and the work of other people. So right now I'm going to start by uploading one of my old images using the describe characteristic command here. So this prompt will feed in an image I took. This image was taken on I believe a Mamiya RB67 with a 90mm f3.5 lens and Portra 160 if I'm not mistaken. And with the describe feature, we get all of this information. One, a young man in sunglasses leaning back in front of a brick wall in the style of dark yellow and light emerald, vibrant colorism, forest punk, marbleized Provia film, whatever it may be. Some of these words don't even register in my head in terms of the artists they're referencing, but the colors themselves can be very, very helpful to look into. So here you have the hints that it recognizes that it's a film image. So in 1 and in 4, you both have film references. So Provia in 1 and Portrait in 4. I'm going to go with 4 and recreate it. So you can take the suggested prompt that's returned by the describe tool and send that back out and have it return an image based on that prompt, and then we can tweak from there. So the bot itself will return images in the same aspect ratio, which is really, really helpful when you're actually recreating an image. Again, if you want to alter that, you alter that with the --AR prompt, and this really gives us some flexibility in the generation of our prompt in general. Overall, the tool is fairly fast. Again, I have paid for the faster version of Midjourney, but the realism here is striking. I will likely move forward here with the second image. So I'm going to get some variants on that and see what I like more. Where I think this tool will be most applicable is whenever you're examining either your own work, you're trying to find, hey, what style do I shoot in? How do I describe myself or portray and convey the story I'm trying to tell to my clients? So that describe tool in particular can allow you to see yourself in a way that you haven't seen yourself before, or describe yourself in a way that you haven't seen before. And if you're encountering new works of art or new creative work, you could feed it through this describe tool to better recognize and characterize maybe what era it came from, what styles that particular photographer is referencing, or what it's built off of, and really get a greater understanding of the creative direction and inspiration for a shoot. And that can allow you to dive down another rabbit hole to figure out what the true inspiration was for that image, and then potentially build up a concept in your head that introduces some novelty to the field or allows you to expand on an area of photography as it exists today. So here we have 4 images. I particularly like the bottom right one, so I'm going to upgrade that one to the highest resolution. So the workflow is pretty simple. Again, you're doing the /describe tool, uploading the image, you get your 4 prompts back. Those 4 prompts you can choose from, you can render them all. You can choose one and then alter the prompt to give you a little bit different of an output. So to give an example, so I'll take this prompt and then I'll run it through the Imagine information and then add warm red brick background out of focus. And that should tweak our overall image to not have as many yellows and greens and introduce that third color that this is actually missing compared to the initial image. And I will say, overall, the describe feature does pretty well whenever it's generating its own images and information from that prompt. There are areas that you will see, particularly in photography, where things are throttled, so hyper detailed images and images that are more how would I say this? Images that are hyper detailed, images that display a lot of complexity in the depth of field can cause issues. And then things like nudity and certain themes are actively filtered out of what Midjourney returns. So you'll always get skewed results whenever you push those through the algorithm. So here we've established we have a red brick being introduced in the background, and now we have something more similar to what we started out with. So very happy. So to give you an example of some of those references where I saw that the describe prompt actually struggles, to give an example of very, very deep depth of field, we'll have these two images. So I'll open up this one and bring them over to the side of my desktop. And here I have my friend Melina. I have a canvas backdrop covered in flowers. I have flowers close to the front of the camera to give the appearance of exaggerated depth of field here. This is actually shot at like f8, f11 on a 50 millimeter Zeiss lens. And here it gets a good, I guess, character and sort of feel from the image, but I think it's really lacking the contrast and warmth that the first image has. And overall, obviously I prefer my image, but it gets fairly close in terms of the inspiration. The other example we can have, again, I mentioned that Midjourney obviously throttles anything with nudity, which is in their terms of service. So in this case, I have a figure study here, and you get the feeling of the shutter drag that I pulled the camera up with these sort of wispy lines that go through, and then the hair actually matches pretty accurately. Overall, happy with the image, knowing that it probably could recreate the actual thing, but there are safety features embedded within the model itself. And then with respect to hyper detailed images or more complicated images, so an example of a double exposure that I can pull up is right here. So we have the Midjourney image, which I think is pretty impressive. And then this image right here, I took of my friend Sydney on, this is with a Mamiya RZ67 with 110 millimeter f2.8 lens with Portrait 160. I have a double exposure here, and she's covered in glitter. So there's a very, very, very high amount of detail in this medium format image. And you get the, again, overall feeling of the image. You get the match of the model's eye color, skin color, hair color, lips. But overall, it's missing smaller details with respect to how the hair is laid out, the smaller aspects of the glitter. So those are the areas I think it struggles in, but there are things that the model will do extremely well. So I think with respect to simpler images that lack some of that complexity or just confusing elements to the algorithm itself, I have a portrait of my friend Naija, which the model actually returned a more contrasty image that was, again, similar lighting, similar design overall. I believe I took this with my Sony a7 II. So with respect to your tools and your arsenal, this is something you can use to examine the works of yourself, others, really revisit work you've already done and think of it in new and novel ways. So if you've had experience with this tool, or you found a cool way to take this Describe tool even further within Midjourney, feel free to drop a comment down below. I'm actively learning all of this, and it's very fresh and new to me. I've generated all this work within the past 3 days, and the upgrade to the V5 model, I think, has really, really exaggerated the level of texture that's available in these images. So overall, excited to see where it develops in the future. Once V6 comes out, I believe in Christmas or December-ish this upcoming year, and we're able to render higher resolution images, I think we'll really start to see those images compete for native, maybe digital crop sensor or full frame, not necessarily medium or large format. And we really, again, we'll have to see how things develop. It's a rapidly evolving field. So quick video today. Thank you for watching. If you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. You can check out my work on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, everything under the sun. And outside of that, I hope you had a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.